Hi, boys and girls. I'm going to continue with where we left off with the swan leaving the nest and taking a little dip. The swan felt good. She had no idea that an enemy was near. She failed to notice the red fox as he watched her from his hiding place behind a clump of bushes. The fox had been attracted to the pond by the sound of splashing water. He hoped he would find a goose, and now he sniffed the air and smelled the swan. Her back was turned, so he began creeping slowly toward her. She would be too big for him to carry, but he decided he would kill her anyway and get a taste. The cob, her husband, was still floating on the pond. He spied the fox first. "Look out!" he said. "Look out for the fox, who is creeping toward you even as I speak." His eyes bright, his bushy tail out straight, his mind thirsting for her, his belly almost touching the ground. "You're in grave danger. We must act immediately." While the cob was making this elegant speech of trying to warn something happened that surprised everyone. Just as the fox was about to spring and sink his teeth into the swan's neck, a stick came hurtling through the air. It struck the fox full on the nose, and he turned and ran away. The two swans couldn't imagine what just happened. Then they noticed a movement in the bushes, and out stepped Sam Beaver, the boy who had visited them just a month ago. Sam was grinning. In his, turning the page, hand he held another stick in case the fox should return. But the fox was in no mood to return. He had a very sore nose, and he had totally lost his appetite. "Hello," said Sam in a low voice. "Cuckoo," replied the cob. "Cuckoo," said his wife. The pond rang with the trumpet sounds, sounds of triumph over the fox, sounds of victory, and sounds of gladness. Sam was thrilled at the noise of the swans, which some people say is like the sound of a French horn. He walked slowly around the shore to the little point of land near the island and sat down on his log. The swans now realized beyond any shadow of a doubt that the boy was their friend. He had saved the swan's life. He had been in the right place at the right time and with the right ammunition, a nice stick. The swans felt grateful. The cob swam over towards Sam, climbed out of the pond, and stood close by the boy, looking at him in a friendly way and arching his neck gracefully. Once he ran his neck far out cautiously and almost touched the boy. Sam sat so quietly, did not even move a muscle. His heart thumped from excitement and joy of being so close to a swan. The female paddled back to her nest and returned to the job of warming the eggs. She felt so lucky to be alive. That night before Sam crawled into his bunk at camp, he got out his notebook and he found a pencil. And this is what he wrote. "I don't know of anything in the entire world more wonderful to look at than a nest with eggs in it. An egg, because it contains life, is the most perfect thing there is. It is beautiful and mysterious. An egg is a far finer thing than a tennis ball or a cake or a bar of soap. A tennis ball will always just be a tennis ball. A cake will always be a cake. And soap will always be soap until it goes away. But an egg will someday be a living creature. A swan's egg will open and out will come a little swan. A nest is almost as wonderful and mysterious as an egg. How does a bird know how to make a nest? Nobody ever taught her. How does a bird know how to make a nest?" Sam closed his notebook, said good night to his father, blew out his lamp, and climbed into his bunk. He lay there wondering how a bird knows how to build a nest, and pretty soon his eyes were closed and he finally fell asleep. So that is the end of the visitor chapter, and we will continue again with the next chapter called the cygnets. What is a cygnet? I leave you that question.